Hey, this is David Owen.
And this is Marian Cowigowan.
And this is You Show Me Yours Rewatches Degrassi Junior High. This is Season 2, Episode 5, Stage Fright.
Double meaning again. The big news is sometime, quote, over the holidays, Caitlin was diagnosed with epilepsy. And I feel like this would be a far more interesting episode if we could see the full arc of how she was diagnosed, but it's not that kind of show.
Yeah. We haven't seen much of Caitlin lately.
No. Well, now it's all about Caitlin here.
So it's nice to see her headbands back on our screen again.
Well, I thought she was growing her hair for a little bit, and now it seems to be cut again.
Yeah, she has that very sort of 80s.
It's a little bit Tiffany, I think.
Tiffany.
Well, she looks kind of like Tiffany.
I felt like Tiffany always had long hair.
No, she did, but she looks like Tiffany in the face.
It's almost an Annie Lennox, it's somewhere between that and like a Pat Benatar.
She's not nearly an androgynous.
No,
enough.
I mean the hair specifically.
Yeah,
it's a short cut with a little bit of length on top.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
it's a Denise Crosby from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I feel like her hair gets better later, like in the high school episode. She grows it and it's a little better. I have said this before. Caitlin was one of my favorites, and I wanted to be like her. Now I'm watching this, and she's a little bit of a Mary Sue. Like, she's just so perfect. But
she's getting knocked down a peg or two this episode.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
You think you're so perfect? Have a seizure.
Right. So we open. She's in some sort of doctor's office, and she's got electrodes all over her head.
Yeah.
And they're doing some sort of test on her. And really, this scene is just so we can establish Caitlin has epilepsy. Or I'm not sure if they say epilepsy, but there's something with her brain.
Like basically the very next scene is like, you've got to take your epilepsy medications.
Yeah. But this is like, if you don't know what epilepsy is, it establishes it's something in your brain.
Yeah.
It's not your heart. It's not, whatever.
Yeah.
And that she is sort of learning about it. Like, she says, oh, will it hurt?
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, oh, no. It's
As he ominously pushes a toggle switch forward.
Right. Oh, that large crackle you heard? That's nothing. That's just a lot of electricity. No big deal.
2 electrodes just go on either side of your brain.
No big deal. And then, the next scene, Caitlin's mom is dropping her off at school and lecturing her about it. They seem to only have these important conversations in the car.
Yeah, right before. They had a whole car ride.
To talk about this.
Right
and she's pulls up at school. Oh, yes, you need to be taking your medication. And she exposits 3 times a day, which, dude, that is a pain in the neck.
Yeah. But also this, I know it's just a television show and they're just, but within 12 hours of not having taken it, she is having a seizure.
A grand mal seizure.
This is
I don't know if it's grand mal. It's intense.
Serious.
Yeah.
Epilepsy.
Well, she has a couple. So back to that in a second. But 3 times a day medication sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I was on antibiotics for acne in high school, which didn't do a damn thing. So if you are out there and you have acne and they tell you take antibiotics, specifically tetracycline, don't do it because it's a waste of time.
Just do the scorch the earth.
Yes.
Thing, right?
Yes. I took the toxic stuff that completely dries you up like the Sahara, and it worked and possibly messed with my liver and gave me various GI symptoms, but I would still do it again. But anyway, point is, you couldn't eat for 2 hours before or 3 hours after or something like that. And twice a day was fine because just right when you get up and right when you go to bed, but 3 was the worst. And 3, now as an adult, if I have to take something 3 times a day, even without the empty stomach, it's a pain in the neck. So
if my doctor prescribed something and said I have to take it 3 times a day, I would just say, don't bother.
Best I can do is 2.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I would be like in the graphic from Pawn Stars. Sorry, no. Best I can do is 2, 3 times, maybe on the weekends. That's it. But apparently, she's not even taking them at home.
Yeah, but she's missing some. We assume that morning she's
maybe
taking her dose.
I don't know. Well, and Yeah, like sometimes 3 times a day is not exactly right. It has to be like every 8 hours precise or whatever. But anyway, this is not a pharmaceutical show. This is just a teenager doesn't want to take her medication.
Yep.
And several times we see her going into the bathroom or whatever and getting ready to take her medication. And then someone comes in and she immediately hides the pills.
Good intentions.
Yeah.
She seems to, but then
she wants to take it. She doesn't want anyone seeing her taking a pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll ask what it is.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell them.
Well, and she's previously said she doesn't want to wear her medical bracelet.
Yeah.
Because everybody will ask, everybody will know. And, and I completely yes, epilepsy is a big, scary diagnosis. As we see later after people have found out, is it catching? Oh, yes. And of course it's Kathleen who says this.
Yeah.
Kathleen is in fine bitch form.
Yes.
She's what is she said? Something about, at some point Melanie's like, you should invite boys to the sleepover. And Kathleen instantly goes into slut shaming. It's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to end up like Spike. Right. Okay, no, let's be clear. Spike was having sex with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And also, anyway, sorry, I'm going off topic. But so Caitlin doesn't want anyone to know, doesn't tell anybody, insists that she can do her normal life, try out for the play, et cetera, go to Susie's sleepover, blah, blah, blah. She's having a couple of, according to the Wikipedia description, they're called absence seizures, which are, I think, conveyed pretty subtly. Watching them now as an adult, I'm like, okay, clearly I know what that, because I know a little bit more about epilepsy. Like, you think of a seizure as you fall to the ground, you clutch, you tense up, you toss and turn, whatever. But the parts where she's just sort of staring off into space and doesn't appear to be aware of anything that's happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't realize time has passed. That's a kind of a seizure too.
Yeah.
So Susie sort of cottons to what's going on. Like, she notices that this is weird. And then they're at Susie's house that night for a sleepover. And Caitlin seems to go from she's sort of gradually she's looking tired. She's kind of, and then she just falls back and starts having I don't know if it's a grand mal seizure. I know grand mal is the most intense one, but this looks pretty intense to me.
Yeah.
And Susie instantly knows what it is because her aunt has epilepsy. So Susie is proving to be the most emotionally intelligent and level-headed character in this entire show.
Yes.
So I remember the first episode when we see her when she's elected vice president and she's going up to Stephanie All, we should I was like, oh, Susie, you're such a grind. I don't know. But she's growing on me very much.
Yeah.
So, and there's myths there, put a spoon in her mouth because she'll swallow her tongue, and it's like, no, it's not going to
hold her down. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And it is an interesting. I think that, epilepsy was weird like that in the in the 80s. Like, I remember watching, a 15-minute video on it at school or something. In middle school or in 5th grade or something. So it was this sort of emerging thing. Not that it was emerging, but that awareness,
we knew a lot more about
awareness was starting to emerge. And to this day, there's you'll see the photosensitivity warnings and stuff, which was just an absolute, that kind of stuff was completely foreign back then.
Well, yeah, I noticed that she has her seizure very soon after. So they were having sort of seance and the lights are off and then they turn the lights on. And I don't know if we're meant to think that triggered anything, or
I don't know at that time if they even realized it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they even understood it to that degree.
Well, and usually when you hear about stuff triggering a seizure, it's the flashing, it's the pulsing more than but you never know. So and then we don't see the aftermath of this. Susie's getting her mom.
The sleepover's ruined.
Yeah,
just put it that way.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin.
For sure.
Thanks a lot, Caitlin.
Yes, I'm sure that's a cut Kathleen line read.
Yeah,
thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah. Flash forward to Monday morning where Caitlin has been recovering and not talking to anybody, and Susie is concerned, and Caitlin is, I think, having it's a mixture of feelings, right? Because at one point she says, you know, where does my life go from here? Like, what happens when I go on a date or get a job, or can I swim? Which these are all like real concerns, I think.
Yeah.
Particularly swimming, because we've seen that she's on the swim team and she, you know, is something that she likes.
Yeah.
And to a degree, when you have seizures, or if your until your epilepsy is controlled, I think there are things you're not allowed to do. Like, I had a friend who had one seizure and wasn't allowed to drive for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I imagine swimming is another thing that is like kind of off limits.
Oh yeah.
And her parents seem to be very much like, stop doing all these things. Well, her dad is saying stop doing these things.
Protective, and her mom is encouraging her to try to maintain some normalcy.
Yeah, but also is very much like, take the medicine, don't complain. You know, like they don't seem like they're going to give her a lot of space to have feelings about it.
Sure.
And I'm always in favor of, you know, feel your feelings and, you know, explore, but, you know, because like there's some loss that goes along with this, like any chronic condition, like there's limits put on your life, and no 12-year-old likes to feel that.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we forgot to mention that she also lost the big role in the school play to Kathleen.
Yes. If it had been to anybody else, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad.
Yes. And has been cast in the role of Kathleen's character's servant.
Yes. This is sort of a faux Shakespearean play. What's it called? Love's Fresh Face.
Yeah, like
I don't know. And it's a queen and a this and it's, you know, I don't know. The play itself does not bear much analysis, I don't think.
No.
But Rick is helping out on the play because he still likes Caitlin.
Yeah, and someone even makes that
still
comment.
Likes him. Yeah. Oh, Susie. Susie knows what's up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no wonder you wanted help with the play.
Yeah. And he finally is the one who tells Kathleen saying something smart, and he finally tells her, just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. Words from my mouth to your lips, Rick. Yeah. Thank you very much. And but Caitlin is they announced the cast on like Monday, and the first rehearsal is Monday after school. Like, wow, they are no grass growing under their feet.
You gotta go.
And so Caitlin has approximately 6 hours to deal with her feelings about this, and is like, I'm not doing this. I'm going home. Bye.
Yeah, and she's going through all of the emotions, including I didn't get the part because of my epilepsy.
Yeah, which is
at that point, there's no way that they would have known. You know, only a handful of people knew at the time of the casting.
Right. She says, "Oh, Miss Avery must have found out." Like, first of all, Miss Avery is not. That's
she's not. She's not. Come on, she's cool.
No, and also like, when they were doing the auditions, so she and Kathleen, and I assume everyone else who auditioned for the same part, had to do the same monologue. I guess it's from the play. And Caitlin's is very monotone.
Yeah.
Kathleen's is not much better, but a little better.
Yeah.
It's like my family never loved me, something, and I'm just like, okay, you can't just read that like you're reading a passage from a history text in class. Like, you got to put something in there, and Caitlin's not putting anything. So I don't know if I would have noticed that when I saw this the first time, but as an adult, I'm like, no, Kathleen deserved the part.
Yeah, well, and even Susie says like she did better than you.
Yeah,
like she did a really good audition.
Yeah,
like, don't be jealous.
Yeah, like, you can be upset, but this was not stolen from you. And Caitlin is lashing out at everybody and everything. And Susie finally is like, listen, I'm your friend and I will be there for you whenever you need me, but you got to cut this out. This is, you just because you're jealous or whatever she says, you can.
Yeah.
And then this is the next morning that they have this fight, and then Caitlin just sort of sits pensively during class and then shows up to rehearsal and is like, okay, I'm going to be the best servant ever. Blah. Okay, all right, sure.
Yeah. So after no showing the first practice, the rehearsal, she decides, you know what, I'm going to do it. Yeah. And I think that's her, deciding to, we see her taking her medicine with her cool collapsible cup.
Yep.
And she's not going to let this thing get the best of her. She's going to take her medication and wear her medical
and she does
bracelet.
Put that on.
And she's going to be responsible with her epilepsy and still live her life.
Yeah. The end.
The end.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything like this where a character they go through a process that is all interior and you don't really see any of it. You just see them sitting and being thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, I think you get a little hint at that when she's taking the medicine in the mirror and she gets out of the car with her bracelet on and she takes the medicine in the mirror. And, I think that's where you're supposed to feel that change in her.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Can't read minds. So, if only we had the electrodes like the guy does in the beginning, we could see her thought processes.
Yeah. But yeah, and we get, even though, we've still got a B plot to talk about, we get our freeze frame at the end after Caitlin straightens Kathleen's crown because it's on backwards.
Yes.
It says Kathleen needs all the help she can get, right?
Yes. Yeah, because they're on day 2 of rehearsals, they are in costume, which cracks me up.
Yeah.
And Rick has previously told Kathleen where she can stuff that and has been standing up for her, for Caitlin in the ways that he knows how to do. And he flashes the light on her and says something like, "Welcome back." But similarly to the light at the sleepover, I was like, "Don't do that.
Right, yeah.
You trigger a seizure.
Do it. Yeah, you're gonna don't do it.
You can't do that. What are you doing? That's the problem." But didn't happen. Meanwhile,
yes,
different type of performance fears. Michelle, who we've only seen in the background a little bit.
Yeah. This is her time to shine.
Yeah. She has to give a speech in class, and she is petrified because she is very shy.
Her entire character description that someone wrote down at some point was nervous.
Yes, shy girl.
Yeah, shy. Just like one word description. She has no further character than that.
Blushes a lot.
Yes.
Which honestly, as far as I remember her later, that's pretty much it. Like I don't. Yeah. And she and Alexa are besties, and Alexa is talking her up, saying, "Oh, tell Mr. Radish you have your period. You can't do it." She's like, "I can't talk about that. I can't even talk about that with my mom." Like, tell him you have a sore throat. You've lost your voice and you can't do it. And Mr. Radish is like, "Yeah, too bad."
Yeah, which he actually does try that.
Yes.
And he's like, "That's the oldest excuse in the book."
Yes, just talk about something that you like, or whatever.
Yeah, he gives her advice like, just come on, if you talk about something you like, it won't feel like as much of a challenge.
Yeah.
And we're seeing like other kids do it, and the
really bad.
The kid is talking about how he likes to watch television.
I watch a lot of television because I learn about life
and stuff.
Like so like the bar is not very high.
Yeah,
here.
And he's doing the universal thing that previously we've seen Yick do, which has a lot of papers or cards, index cards that he can't keep straight and they keep falling out of his hands. Well, like the shortcut for messy, unorganized, dumb.
Well, okay. When you were about this age, were you taught to do that as part of your like research or planning out a paper or speech or anything?
We had a book report in 6th grade in which we had to write it. It was like a 2-minute filmed to a VHS camera in front of a backdrop that said like, "I love reading" or some crap. And you were encouraged to it was more than encouraged. You had to write your speech on note cards, and then the final note card had to be like your bibliography, or like if you used any sources outside the book and the information on the book, the writer, and all that sort of stuff.
Well, so in my school we started doing, we didn't even call them research papers, they were just reports, and oral presentations starting in like 4th grade. And the way that they had us do the research was like one fact on each index card, and it was like the scaffolding into, okay, here's the facts, and you organize them, like you put all the facts about the history of the thing together and the opinions and the this and the whatever. So but I like, when our kid has had to research things, I don't think they do anything like that. Well, everything's digital now, so no such thing as index cards. But the idea of index cards for speech, I was like, oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Also, that book report, I didn't read the book. I just read the blurb on the back of the book. and then made up a bunch of details. And I was just incredibly confident no one had read that book.
What book was it?
It was just some random, like, Dungeons and Dragons type, like knights and wizards and sorcerers book that wasn't like any of the famous Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings or any of those. It was just some random book with a knight and a dragon on the cover, and it was like a you know, a novel, like a chapter book. Like it wasn't a like a golden book or anything. But yeah, I just read the back of it and I was like, okay, it's king and he's questing and blah, blah, blah. And then I just made up the rest of the details of the book.
Gosh.
And I think I got an A on it.
How am I married to you? Like, what in the world?
I deceived you, clearly. Like, I deceived my sixth grade teacher.
Yes. Good grief. Ms. Avery would never fall for that.
I don't know. That was pretty good.
But anyway, so there's no indication that Michelle is like researching or writing before or whatever. It just seems like she gets up on her day and just
vamps.
Just extemporaneously. But she talks about being shy.
Yeah, which is good.
And gives a much better speech than you would think from someone who is shy.
Yeah.
Like she's
talking about shyness somehow makes her come out of her shell.
Yeah. She's got jokes. She's like, and I have unfortunate clothes because I get pushed around by salespeople, and gestures to the shirt she's wearing. And I hate baby pink. And I'm like, okay, but you're 13. Are you really buying your own? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. At 13, I was not allowed to buy my own clothes.
And the subplot here is that she has been sort of gently teased by Joey, who calls her Mouse.
Yeah.
Because she's so mousy.
And when he witnesses her try to get out of the speech by faking laryngitis and fail, he goes, "Nice try."
Yeah, yeah.
And so afterward, he's next up, and he says to her, "Hey, I'll pay you $5 if you write my speech for me."
Yeah.
Which writing is not really the thing; it's the delivery. I think that was her problem. But okay, you know. And she says, "Oh no," and then gives him the "nice try."
Yeah.
And he's 10 maybe. Yeah,
and then this is our comedy relief, so to speak, sort of, and it's woven in throughout the when Caitlin is giving her audition, they're backstage, and that's the point when she suggests, "Oh, tell them you have your period. Male teachers hate that." And so it's nicely woven into the rest of the story, but it's our comedy relief. No yick. No, we do get a brief mention of Arthur on the PA, but we couldn't figure out what they said. It was, "Mr. Tobolowski, come to the principal's office and bring your backup something." And we couldn't. I
no
couldn't
idea
hear what it was.
Yeah.
But so a brief mention, and we see them playing catch in
frisbee.
Frisbee in the courtyard. Flying disc. Thank you. We don't know for sure if that was a Frisbee brand flying disc.
Not TM.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's an efficient story this week. No third wheel, no third plot point to unravel. And even our comic relief, so to speak, was dealing with something that I think a lot of kids struggle with.
Yes.
Shyness and things like that. And I mean, stage fright is the name of the episode, literally in plot A and in the A plot, and figuratively in the B plot. But I never had a problem with that. Like, I was the kid. Like, I was on the first day of kindergarten. They were like, "Does anybody have any special talents?" And I jumped up on a table and sang "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." So I was never shy, but I wonder if perhaps you were.
It depends. So like I said, we had to do oral reports starting in like 4th grade. And we had, there was a once a year speech competition. And by speech, I mean short little dramatic skits that you could do. And I did that, for a couple years, and we had the report, and so like, I was never afraid of performing, but I remember, and so I was in kindergarten, and I was sent to the 1st grade classroom for reading class. And for whatever reason, they wanted everybody to read aloud. And for whatever reason, I just refused to do it. And then I don't have any sense of how long it was, but like, a month or 2 into the school year, I was just like, okay, I'll read it. And like, I could read very well and had been reading aloud at home probably for a long time. And I just somehow didn't do it. So I don't know. And there definitely have been times when I just, and this is something that I struggle with now even, is feeling like you're the center of attention and all eyes are on you, and just sort of this sense of being perceived and being judged. And, if I have to give a speech, that's fine. If I have to perform, that's fine. But it's sort of the more interpersonal stuff just weirds me out. I don't know why. And I definitely have felt that, like Michelle says, I can't even order a hamburger.
Right.
Like I've definitely, like, I can order it, but if something's wrong with it, I can't. Not now, but definitely when I was younger, I felt like, okay, I have to eat this thing with ketchup and mustard on it because I can't go back and say you got it wrong. Now I'm just like, hey, you messed this up. What, but as about this age, I would have felt. So I don't know. So not shy necessarily, but I don't know how to describe it. Less able to advocate for myself, and just a little don't enjoy the spotlight.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah,
I have that. I think there are a lot of instances in life where you see someone who seems to have a knack for something that they aren't that interested in pursuing. And I feel like, humbly, I will say this, that, I can get up in front of people and kind of command an audience when I want to, but I don't really care to. I would much rather just be at home by myself in a dark room doing, other things. But yeah, I feel like I do have this ability to turn on a certain performative aspect. And I feel like there are people who want that, who would love to trade that with me, but I'm just sitting there going like, yeah, okay, I can pull in everybody at karaoke and get people riled up, but
it's only for brief periods of time. You don't have to sustain it.
Sure. But it's just like, I know that there are people who would love to. I got told that in high school when we did our monologues. Actually, we did a monologue. I did a monologue, and coming off the stage broke my ankle. And as I was sitting there with my ankle like trembling, and everyone was asking if I was okay, at least one person was like, "That was really good. Why are you the lighting guy?" Like I was like, "Oh, well, okay." But yeah, I was the lighting guy because I enjoyed the lighting and I enjoyed being back there away from everything. But when I needed to, to turn it on for the actual drama class.
Yeah. If you dig deep, you can bring it, but it takes a lot out of you to do that. Yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very glad that I do not have a phobia of public speaking.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I am great at it, but it's never, and I might be nervous about it, but I've never been scared.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of people, it's just debilitating. Like they just get up there and the mouth goes dry and they just and run. Like I've never felt that, which I'm grateful for.
Oh yeah. So.
Well, yeah. So I realized when prepping for this, for a while there, we were saying, "Oh, what's the moral of this episode?" We haven't been doing that. So, what's the moral of this? What would you say?
I don't know. It's like, to stop being scared, take care of yourself, take life seriously, and stop letting fear paralyze you.
Yeah, pretty much. None of these morals are especially complex, really, but but it's important to say them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. And they've been said.
And also don't be afraid to tell a bitch that she's a bitch.
For real.
Yeah. Like Kathleen's going to have a sympathy arc at some point, but I'm like, it's not enough.
Yeah.
She's still awful.
Yes. Well, yeah, we're storming through season 2 here.
I think we're almost halfway through season 2.
Yeah, we're getting through it, man.
So,
it's pretty good. Making pretty good time.
Well, folks, we would love to know what you think about this episode. What myths did you believe about epilepsy. I don't know. Did this, if you saw this when it aired, did it leave a mark on you? It did for me.
Yeah. And there was, I know we're wrapping up, but there was a part of me that I think when we reading that we were rewatching this episode and reading what it was about, I was thinking, is this AIDS? Is this like they're standing for AIDS? But then remembering as we were watching this, like, no, epilepsy was kind of a, kind of a vilified is not the word, but like, it was a lot of,
it was a big bad,
there was a lot of
illness,
mysterious stuff around it. And so like they probably were actually trying to like humanize epilepsy in this, and not like trying to get around the censors and pretend epilepsy is AIDS.
Well, actual AIDS comes up later.
Right. And I was pretty sure they did an AIDS episode.
Yeah.
At some point.
But we'd love to know what you think. Tell us, what did you have to give oral reports in school or speeches? Yeah. What were any of yours about?
Note cards.
One of mine was, I don't remember how or why I chose this topic. It was about the climate of Canada.
Wow.
Why? I don't know, but
it's amazing.
It was that, and I cannot believe that people didn't stone me in the classroom. Like, that sounds incredibly dull, but okay.
It's cold.
Also, I talked about India and Ireland and the state of Iowa.
Weird.
And then the St. Louis Arch. It wasn't all an I theme, but yeah.
All right.
Anyway, tell us what you did your oral report on so I don't feel nearly so nerdy. Anyway, you can get in touch with us in a couple different ways. You can send us an email. We're at YSMY Podcast. That's YSMY for You Show Me Yours at gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, same handle. You can send us a DM, or you can look at our main feed where we have links to all of our latest episodes. In 2026, we have new episodes every single Wednesday. The first Wednesday of the month, we are doing our usual YSMY thing and showing each other movies and television that we loved before our first date. And then for all the rest of the Wednesdays of the month, we are rewatching Degrassi Junior High. Next time, we will be watching, let's see, let me pull it up. It's never up my phone when I need it to be. Episode 6, Fight. This is a decently short description. Joey begins to be bullied by a boy named Dwayne and his two friends. Joey's attempt to get revenge wind up making Dwayne angrier, and he challenges Joey to a fight in the park after school. Joey becomes fearful of the confrontation and first tries to avoid it, but Snake and Wheels tell him that he'd be called a coward. Joey shows up to the fight, which draws in nearly the entire school as an audience, but winds up losing. Meanwhile, Stephanie continues to win over Simon's attention, but it becomes increasingly obvious he is more interested in Alexa. So she's not winning over Simon's attention. Some of these are just written very badly.
You need to, and when we're done with this, is this Wikipedia? You need to go back and edit these.
I do, yeah.
Degrassipedia.
Well, and like some of these are 2 sentences and some are like a page. Like, just calm the heck down, people. But anyway, okay, so we're meeting Dwayne next time. We've seen him in the background, I think, but
cool. Now
we're
ready for
Dwayne and fights and
bully in here.
Joey gets his ass kicked, basically, which is, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Yeah. All right, well then we will see you next time with Fight and Stephanie being lovelorn over Simon still. In the meantime, this has been You Show Me Yours. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.